Hey, true believers, Chris Mack coming at you with Werewolf by Night, number 32. This book is the first appearance of Moon Knight. I wish I could say that this is an original copy, but this is a facsimile, because trying to get a hold of this book, forget about it. With the TV show allegedly coming out, this book is skyrocketed to ridiculous prices that I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. So with that said, make sure to check out your local comic shop. I found this one on the rack, and it has all the ads and whatnot, and the colors are updated, and it's only $4. Yes, it's not the original copy, but at least you can say you've read the story. The print date on the original was August 1975, and it opens tough. I usually ain't, but when the full moon pokes its ugly puss into my life, I turn into the werewolf, and nobody messes with the dude dressed in fur, claws, and pure mean. So why didn't somebody tell that to the stalker called Moon Knight? I miss when comics were like this, how they just lead you in, lead the eye down, and you just see a very odd looking Moon Knight here, looking like some 1970s go-go dancer, just beating the crap out of our main title character, which he's not around anymore. So it's like, sorry, but Moon Knight stole your milkshake, or more so stole the spotlight and became his own character. The people responsible for this book was Doug Moench, writer, which is one of my favorite Batman writers, artist Don Perlin, and I'm assuming Howie Perlin too, letterer Ray Holloway, colorist Phil Reich, and editor Lynn Wine. But still, I love how, if you go back, there's this book, I used to have it, and I've been meaning to try to find a copy. It's called How to Draw the Marvel Way, and this is very much an example of it, showing the dynamicness, how Moon Knight's just wham, haymakering the werewolf back. And the panels were just never really boring, very noirish. And you'd think all these captions, you think, oh my God, there's so much reading. Yes, it may seem that way, but it's talking, because the werewolf doesn't speak. He roars and he growls. So this is the main character, Jack Russell. What a name, Jack Russell. Anyway, talks about how he's feeling the pain of Moon Knight. All his weapons, silver. It was called a cestus, as in glove, worn by gladiators in the arena. A cestus is spiked. These spikes were silver. Silver is hell on a werewolf. And adds. But then we get a backstory leading into how this fight came to be, why the werewolf is already injured. And this, to me, in a sense, kind of reminds me of something you'd read like from Incredible Hulk or whatnot, because the werewolf doesn't think like Jack Russell. He goes to attack this little girl in the California, the snow mountain area or whatever, but his best friend stops him and he slashes his best friend. And when he comes to, he has no recollection about it. And again, I don't want to give away the whole story here. I'd like you guys to go get this facsimile edition and read it for yourself. But look how everything is engaging. You can feel the, the immediate urgency to save Jack's friend. It was cardiographed dormant, doctor. His heart stopped. Nurse, get the cardiovascular shock unit, quickly. He talks about how he came home from the snow banks. He thought that his friend had abandoned him. His stepdad's the one to break the news to him about what happened. The soft word slammed me. Hit me like 1,000 crushing mountains. My only action was numbness, disbelief. Mauled? Easy, Jack. Just take it easy, son. Easy? I might have killed my best friend, and you want me to take it easy? And so he's talking about if he killed his friend, then that's it. He's going to end his life because he's tired of living with this curse of the werewolf. He ends up injuring himself, which leads into what we were talking about at the beginning of the book. He's feeling sorry for himself. He kind of just wants to self-isolate. And this is where we lead into the Moon Knight. Hello, Russell. They told me to announce myself as the Moon Knight. Pretty stupid name, but it'll do as far as you're concerned. Yeah? And how am I concerned? Who are you besides a lunar crusader rabbit? Let's see, I'm a working man, Russell. Out to do my job and collect my bread. So you see that the way that Marc Spector became the Moon Knight in this sense, like they don't talk about anything about him, about Khonshu or anything like that. They just show that he was a mercenary that was hired. They say, so you're Marc Spector. And as you notice, it's spelled with a K here. It's later issues where they redact that to a C, just so you know. I'm Spector, who are you? And so these fat cats are saying soldier of fortune, mercenary, veteran of 3 African wars, 5 South American revolutions, brief flirtation with the CIA, weapons expert, versatile practitioner of virtually all martial arts, ex-prize fighter, Marine commando for 8 years prior to being a lieutenant within an inch of his life, etc. So your research department's hot stuff. So what? I was told there'd be money down here. What do I do to get it? So it's just kind of a really different take on how we know Marc Spector kind of being this schizophrenic vigilante. And so they basically hire him to take out their werewolf with the promise of $10,000. And they're like, take this costume and use all the weapons that are inside it with your skills. And so that kind of what leads us back to the modern fight. And the werewolf is just getting wasted. The panels are absolutely gorgeous. There was an episode of Comictopianm that I was watching where John Romita Jr. came in, and he was talking about his dad, John Romita Sr., and how when he was a boy, he'd sit in his living room, and there would be his dad drawing Stan Lee at his house, and he'd talk about how Stan Lee would start jumping on chairs and couches and start emulating Spider-Man poses and action poses, and Romita Sr. would be sitting there kind of getting the rough trace of them for the comic books. And that was kind of the Marvel way, and you can see it in this book, minus all the ads. And again, for you Marc Spector fans, it's the first appearance of Frenchie, which he does not look anything like he does in modern times. He they make sure that they get Jack Russell, what a name. Frenchie's assigned by Moon Knight to kidnap Jack's sister, Topaz. Some interesting names. Like there's a girl in here, the 7-year-old that he was trying to attack as the werewolf. Her name's Buttons, and I'm like, Buttons, Topaz, Jack Russell. This must have been a very LSD time. But then again, it is 1975, so. But still, even though the story itself is engaging, there's drama, there's heart. There's a couple of heartfelt moments in terms of pain, the way that Jack knows what he is and what his, because of his curse, what's happening to those that he loves around him. And eventually, what's to become of him. And I love how it says, out of the way, fans, payday's just around the corner. And I'd rather kill this hairy monster than let those cups cut me off from my bread. So it's interesting to just see Moon Knight as like a hired mercenary compared to the way that they've sort of built him up to be this vessel of an Egyptian god, and how he has all these different schizophrenic things. And I kind of mentioned this in the action figure review. It seems like they created Moon Knight, awesome character, but they didn't know what to do with him, and that's why his book has been revamped. There's so many volumes of it now, and it's really hard to get a grasp on the character. Like if y'all, other than his first appearance, if y'all know a really good early jumping on point where we can get a real good fix on who Moon Knight is, let me know down in the comments. So I would like to check that out and kind of get a better read on Marc Spector, because right now I feel like I'm back in the day where I was a kid and didn't know where to start on any books. So I just kind of stumble and randomly just read issue after issue, none of it making sense to me. So anyway, with that said, if you've enjoyed this comic book, again, right now on the stands at your local comic shop, they have the facsimile edition of this book for $3.99. Hey, it's better than paying $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 on eBay. So yeah, I would definitely say check with your local comic shop to get this. And if you've enjoyed this review, we really would appreciate if you take a moment to hit like, share, and subscribe. Helps the club channel more than you could possibly know. And if you won't mind hitting that fancy little moon bell next to subscribe, that way as we continue to upload content, you guys get notified. Come to the channel, and we love talking with you all and hearing your feedback down in the comments below or our social media pages, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description. So with all that said, thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you all have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, true believers.